All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for week 2 of Backyard Bookies. Scott, it was not a good start to the season for us. We talked about week 1. It's a scary week. It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't great for us.
No, wasn't too great, but I mean, if you picked a lot of the big favorites, all the 30-point favorites, 8-0. So good for you. If you picked Alabama, if you picked Oklahoma, if you picked our Aggies, if you picked all the really good teams against their little cupcake guys, then good for you. You probably won some bets, but I think I got 2 right, maybe.
Yep, 2 and 3.
You want to? Yeah, I think I got the 20 and 40 right. Not totally great, but my parlay hit, so I'm totally okay with how we did this week. But now we've seen the teams. Now we know what they look like on the field. And I think some of these picks this week might be a little more educated, and we can get some of these right.
Now we got NFL now, week 1 for the NFL, but we can stay clear of that if you want to go all college. I know you're the college specialist over here. I feel good.
NFL.
Yeah, I think I hit you. I think I texted you a couple weeks ago talking about a great, teaser for the season. Josh Allen over his rushing yards for the season. It was something like 890. Looking good after tonight. Josh Allen is a freak and he can run the football. But let's run through last week for you. You hit your Razorbacks. They covered your $20 bet here, covering the 6 points against the Cincinnati Bearcats. It was close, but they covered. UCLA Bruins, they were struggling at halftime. That was looking like a no-chance cover. Blew out Bowling Green State in the second half for your $40 bet. Not going to be too upset about your upset here. The Memphis Tigers didn't beat Mississippi State. There was like a 10-hour rain delay in that thing, so wasn't going to do anything of that. Oh, Ohio State and Notre Dame, the game we had head-to-head. You believed a little too much in the Buckeyes. Bad first half, good second half. They won the game, didn't cover for you. And then, man, Brian Kelly and his Cajun accent. I know he's on your shit list for Till Kingdom Come for that one. Absolutely horrible performance, losing that game by 1 point. It is tough to lose on a blocked extra point. I did feel bad for you. You were a little too confident going into that game Sunday night.
It was honestly just a roller coaster in that last 2 minutes, man. We had a few people over at the house. We were watching the game. They knew I had a bet in, and they got that muff punt, and then the fumble at the goal line. I'm like, all right, we got this. We're gonna come back. We're gonna drive the field. They did it. All celebrated, and then it was over, and I told them, all right, it's not over yet. All right, don't just celebrate because we're about to tie the game here. I'm like, they still got to kick the extra point. Sure enough.
Blocked.
Not surprised. So, I mean, it is what it is. LSU is who they are. Brian Kelly's probably going to get ran out of the state here soon. So, well, that was a tough one. I probably won't bet on LSU much for the rest of the year.
He went from the safest job in college football at Notre Dame to his ass is going to be gone in 3 months. He's bitching at the reporters for being late to the meeting, and they said maybe if you win a game, we'd show up on time. It's welcome to the South.
Literally, if you're at Notre Dame, you can win. You can win your 8, 9, 10. You can go undefeated that 1 year and go to the playoff and every 4 or 5 years, and you can have a pretty steady life and everyone loves you and you win games. But that's not going to work down there in the Bayou, man. You got to win games. They're coming off a national championship, so. And a lot of money they're paying. So,
Notre Dame, you have a built-in excuse. Like, it's hard to get into Notre Dame. You can't recruit the best of the best because there are academic standards at Notre Dame. So, built-in excuse. It's fine. You lose to Alabama, hard to complain. Can't compete with them. Now at LSU, you got no excuse.
So it is what it is. So, we'll just hopefully keep it strong in week 2 here and probably stay away from Louisiana State Tigers for a little while.
I think that's a good call. All right, let me run through me. I also went 2 and 3. So, like I said, not a disaster, not a great week. Missed on Temple against Duke. That was bad. I teased out a couple other upsets out there. So, if anybody paid attention, Texas State shit the bed in the second half. It was close in the first half. Not good. I'm not going to talk about my lock over here. Utah is forever on my shit list. The whole state, they're inside the 5-yard line to win the game, and they're throwing passes over here. They were down 3. They could have easily sent the game to overtime. They could have ran the ball into the end zone. They dominated that game on the offensive front. So they're frauds. Forget Cam. I hate him. Alabama, Utah State, exactly like I said for my $40 bet. Under, it was 55-0. That's pretty much what I said. Pretty dominant performance. If you checked, you see Bryce Young giving up Giving the daps, then stopping. Nick Saban. Oh, we're going to talk about this play. We're up 24-0 or whatever it was. It was smooth as can be. And then I had Notre Dame. You had Ohio State. Notre Dame with the 60 bet. Great for, honestly, Notre Dame. Love what I saw from Marcus Freeman. They had a great game plan against Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State was clearly levels above them talent-wise, but they really frustrated C.J. Stroud in that first half, probably the first 3 quarters. And then their offense couldn't really do anything and move the ball, and too many chances for Ohio State to make a big play, and they did. So they won the game, but couldn't cover that 17 line. Way too big for them. So let's just get into it. $20 bet for you. What do you got for us this week, Scott?
So I'm staying away from the college picks in the first one. Backyard Bookies $20 bet here. Under 53.5. Kansas City and Arizona. I know it sounds like a ludicrous pick.
Like it a lot.
But I actually love it. Kansas City kind of got their new weapons here. Arizona coming off a little bit of a little drama with Kyler, just a little bit. Who knows how he's going to come out. 53.5. I mean, that's a 31-21 type game. I think that seems about right. I think one of the teams might, shit the bed a little bit. I feel like maybe 17 from one of those teams, probably Arizona. Kansas City's 5.5-point favorites. When you're looking at action here, it's I think it's 68% are taking the over. So that just kind of tells me, I think they're just looking at both of those teams and kind of just throwing the money on the over because they know pretty much both prolific offenses. But, obviously Kansas City doesn't have Tyreek. Arizona doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins. Two very prolific players that are going to, those are those quick play. Quick
the home run hitters. Home
exactly. So, I think they're gonna take it kind of slow. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is gonna quite have the year that he's been having the last few with fuck it, Tyreek's down there, chunk the ball. It's not gonna happen. He's got to be a little more pick and choosy with the guys he has. So that's more clock management. That's more time coming off the it's more TOP. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slower game than 53.5. So I like the under. $20, 53.5. Kansas City, Arizona. That's what time is this game at? That's the afternoon game.
The afternoon game.
Afternoon CBS game. So that's my $20 bet.
I like it. We saw that a lot second half of the season last year with Kansas City. Not so much throw it downfield, kind of work the ball down the field. Only worried I would have is Arizona tends to be a really hot team to start the season, and then they fade off late. But again, I hate the Kyler Murray contract. I hate everything going on there. So I think that's a good play. I think Kansas City's a really good team, just a little different of a team than we've seen in years past. I think, like you said, they're much more matriculate the ball down the field. So I really like this one. I'm going to go NFL here for my $20 bet. We're going to go over here. Game near and dear to my heart. We got a border battle. We got Minnesota and Green Bay in the Superdome. Not the Superdome. That's the Vikings. We're in the Dome in Minnesota. I shouldn't say that. New Orleans. Over 47 here. I love this number. This is going to be a high-scoring affair. I know talk all you want about Aaron Rodgers and his lack of weapons. Aaron Rodgers had one fear in his life, and that was for some reason Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer no longer coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota secondary is one of the worst in the country league. They're bad. They're awful. They're terrible. We got Pat P. He's 1,000 years old. God bless his soul. Cam Dantzler's the number 2 corner. Not anything special there. Really struggled in the pass defense. You still have Harrison Smith, but it's a home run waiting to happen. The last time these two teams played in Minnesota last season, 34-31, the Vikings won. Kirk Cousins actually has a winning record in Lambeau, and he's even against the Packers as a whole. So he's a little better on the road than he is at home, but he plays the Packers pretty well. Justin Jefferson went for 8 catches, 168 yards, and 2 tutties against this Packers secondary, because a lot of people are hyping up this Packers defense like they're going to be locked down, they're going to be elite. Jefferson cooks them and eats them for lunch, and that's in a running offense. I mean, this offense this year with Kevin O'Connell as the head coach, it's going to be spread offense, looking like Cooper Kupp and the Rams last year. A lot of passing. I expect neither defense to stop anybody. This game, again, in the 30s, I expect. And if this game's under, I'm going to be in really good shape because I think Minnesota dominates then if this game hits under 47. So not much of a stretch here. A 28-27 game gets it 31-27, gets it done for me. I think this is a real easy over here.
Like it a lot. All right, so got our $40 bet here. This one's kind of scary. Took this a lot last year. Certain teams I like to pick. Obviously, we like our New Mexico State Aggies. We picked them probably, I don't know, 5 times last year.
They were great
Also
for
picked
you.
this team a lot. Yeah, they were great. They did what they need to do, lose by a lot usually. Yeah, in this game I have the under also on brand, under 40 in the Iowa State Iowa game.
Go Iowa.
Iowa coming off a very very interesting game where they won the football game and did not score a touchdown.
But scored 7
But
points.
still scored 7 points. Yeah, very interesting team. Playing against Iowa State, I was actually favored in this game, which is shocking to me. I'd probably take the Cyclones if I was betting the spread here, but for some reason 40 seems about right. I think it's going to be like a 23-10 game or something like that. Um, Not too much offense going on. It's going to be pretty much a struggle down the on the field for both teams. Weather looks fine, but either way, I think neither team really has what it takes to score too many points. This game usually is pretty low scoring. Either 27-17, 18-17, 13-3 in the last three. Iowa has one in the last three, but still undersit in the last three. I think that trend's going to continue. It has gone down quite a bit, which is a little scary. I think it came down from 40, I want to say 42, 41 and a half. So it's come down a couple points here. So could be interesting. 40 is a I mean, anytime you get close to those 30s in college football, that's when you're starting to get a little scared. So, but we still got 58% on the under on action. Money line has a Cyclone, so which is pretty interesting. But anyway, 40. Hopefully we get a struggle in Iowa.
On principle, even if you lose this, you can't feel bad about this one. I mean, just on principle, like you said, 7-3 they won last week, 2 safeties and a field goal. It's hard to see this Iowa team score points. This is not a good Iowa team, and it's not a good Iowa State team. So I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be a real struggle for both teams. 40 is scary. Like, good God, it takes one defensive score to really put you in a bad situation. But I think you're good there. For my $40 game,
that's less than 6 touchdowns. I mean,
yeah,
in a full football game, I don't know. We'll see.
It's doable. It's doing you. I might be going biased here. I might be just be a bitter old man at this point. I don't get this one. I think Florida, watching that game, they're ranked number 12 now. They were unranked. A little bit overrated. They're a one-man wrecking crew. Anthony Richardson, good God. He's a problem. Like, can't stop him. But that's all Florida is. They got one guy, and that's it. They got a great quarterback who can run. He had a 45-yard touchdown right before the half. The 4th down conversion, everybody knew he was running the ball there. All you had to do was contain and spy this cat. I don't think Florida's that good. The defense didn't show me anything. They're playing a really solid football team in Kentucky right here. Number 20 Kentucky. They love to pound the rock. They're a physical football team, just like Utah was. Moving the ball was not Utah's problem last weekend. It was their defense. They couldn't tackle anybody. And I think Kentucky's a little bit better, a little bit used to this SEC speed. They're getting 6 points here. I think this is a big number here to be getting with number 20 Kentucky. I think Florida is good. I don't think they're 12. They're probably around like 17, 18, which is what Kentucky's right around. So I think this is a close game. SEC games tend to be close with ranked opponents. I think Florida is going to be a little too over their heels. Big, huge win against number 7 Utah. Billy Napier's first game. Richardson introduces himself. The country learns his name, even though he's like number 12 on Kuiper's billboard. So I love Kentucky here getting 6 points. I had it at 4.5, but it's gone up to 6. Little scary here, but I think people are way overbuying the Gators. Gators are solid. They're not anything that dangerous out of the SEC. I think this is a 3-point game right here. So I love Kentucky getting 6 points on the road.
This is actually a game that I was considering as well. I mean, it's not like Florida just blew Utah out of the water. I think Utah's probably a top 15 team. They're probably not that number 6 that they started off with. They have those names on their team. Cam Rising and forgot their Thomas. Last name's Thomas. I forgot what his first name was. I know he's been around for a little while, but I mean, not number 16. They're probably number 12, 13 where they are. So I think it's a little overblown. I think Kentucky will definitely keep that one close. That's definitely what I was thinking as well. SEC opponent. I mean, it's gonna be pretty close. So I like that pick a lot.
All right. 60.
$60. So once again, my Scott pick that doesn't really make much sense, but makes sense to me. Pick of the week. So we have Baylor and BYU.
I like this
in
one
Provo
too.
this week. Baylor's ranked 10. They came off a pretty big win against Liberty.
Scary.
Liberty.
I think it was the Fighting Malik Willis's.
Oh, it's sorry, not Liberty. Albany.
Even worse.
Liberty's Charlie Brewer this year. Liberty's Charlie Brewer is the quarterback over there this year. No, Albany 69 to 10 against Albany.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. BYU 50 to 21 against we got South Florida. Yeah, so South Florida 50 to 21. Right now it looks like BYU is 3-point favorites at home. As I believe the 21st ranked 21 against number 9. I think most people are seeing that number 9 and picking Baylor because they're getting points. The number 9 team in the nation. 64% are on Baylor. I'm on BYU. I'm gonna swallow those points. I'm gonna take BYU -3. Doesn't make much sense. You know what? I think a lot of people are on Baylor. They don't quite understand how crazy them Mormons get down in Provo. They're not gonna be drinking too much, but they're pretty passionate out there. So
a little too passionate. If you heard anything about Duke volleyball over there, a little too passionate down there.
Yeah, they're gonna pack the house. It's a big game for them. So I don't know. I think I like BYU swallowing those points. I mean, it screams Baylor, just like to me. It screamed Ohio State it screamed Notre Dame last week, but I went the other way. Same thing this week. I think BYU with the favorites gonna cover that one. $60. BYU -3 over Baylor. Doesn't make much sense to me. You take it. You take the opposite.
This is becoming a tradition here. I looked at this game. I loved this line here. I saw Baylor. I was like, easy money right here. But I smelled a rat. I know a rat when I see a rat. Baylor's a rat. I want no part of that game, so I'm all on board with your BYU pick there. Wanted no part of this. It looked way too juicy. I smelled a rat. I'm not touching that game. Instead, we're going to talk about Desmond Howard's national championship pick for my $60 bet. The Pitt Panthers, a pathetic showing week 1. Honestly, had no business winning. They somehow won a football game. It wasn't good. They had the Tennessee Volunteers coming into town. Now, I'm all for SEC hype. The SEC is just better. And Tennessee is not a bad program. But Pitt, long break. They played on Thursday, I think. They played on Thursday last week, so they had a couple extra days off. They're getting 7 points at home here. This is way too big of a number for me. I don't think Pitt's that bad. I think this is a perfect rebound game for Pitt. They're not national championship worthy. They're not a bad team, though. They're an all-around okay team. And okay is just good enough to not lose by a touchdown at home. I think this number is way, 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 way too big for a Tennessee Volunteers team that is not great on the road. They're kind of inconsistent in SEC play. I think this, it smells like this is crazy here. 7 points for Pitt at home. The Heinz Field's going to be rocking. I know the Steelers are back, but Heinz Field was rocking on Thursday. It's going to be rocking on Saturday. Oh, it's Heinz Field till we die. Excuse me, the Heinz End Zone. The Heinz End Zone's going to be rocking over here in Pittsburgh, a town that you have much love for. But I think this is just way too big. I don't think Tennessee's 24. They're okay. 7 points way too much at home here. I don't know which way this game goes, but I will be absolutely floored if Tennessee runs away with this thing.
I was looking at that game too. I kind of like your pick, but I think that game's gonna be pretty close. So I'd probably take the points in that one. But either way, let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Underdogs.
So we're going with the dogs. We're going back to the NFL in this one. Looking at all the lines in this one, it's very interesting. I think we have 10 home dogs this week, I want to say. Is
Mm-hmm.
that right? 10
A
home
lot of
dogs?
dogs. It was
A lot of
at
home.
least 8. I counted at least 8,
So
probably 10.
it's quite a bit of home dogs this week. And I'm taking one of those home dogs. And we have to pick over plus 200, so I had to find one, but going with the Houston Texans over
Oh,
the Indianapolis Colts at home. The Colts are -7. Money line for Houston's plus 270. Actually plus 275. I think it just literally just went down right now to plus 270.
they're
Um,
betting it. They're hammered. The sharps are hammering.
I'm seeing on action there are 10 bets on the Houston spread on this one. They love Houston. They love that big giraffe. Love Damian Pierce. They love Brandon Cooks. I think it all just depends on, can you stop Jonathan Taylor? Can you stop him and get him under 100 yards,
What about Matty
115 yards?
Ice?
They probably can't. Yeah, I mean he's cool. He's an MVP 5 years ago. He's
I can't
he's
believe
an,
you're
he,
bet.
he is definitely an upgrade from Carson Wentz, but let's be real. I mean he's not amazing. He's pretty average. Michael Pittman's a pretty good player. Obviously, they got Jonathan Taylor. Naheem Hines will probably find 3 touchdowns in this one and never get the ball again the rest of the year. He does that. He's the prominent fantasy back that, you pick him off waivers, he gets nothing, you drop him, and he gets 3 touchdowns. That might be, who knows, he might get that week.
He's the keeper. I have him. I have him in our league. Naheem Hines is sitting on my bench. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that game.
People love to have him because he can just go off.
I can't
Hopefully he
believe,
doesn't.
Are you betting on a quarterback named Davis? Are you serious right now?
I am unfortunately betting on Davis Mills here. Real life, I'm going to put $15 on it to win. I believe it's somewhere around $50.
Money.
Home dog. They got a decent running back now from Florida, Damian Pierce. He'll get the rock. He'll get the rock, probably 15 to 20 times. Davis will hopefully be Davis and throw it around the house. So, it's money line plus 275.
Like you said, a lot of home dogs this week in the NFL. I'm also going with the home dog. But we're going to head on up to the Midway. Niners at the Bears. Bears getting 2.5 points or 6.5 points here. Everybody's on the Bears. Three bets on action on the Bears spread. 2 on the under. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Elton John concert again in Soldier Field the night before. They hose down the field and turn it into a literal swamp out there. It's bad. Soldier field conditions always terrible. The Niners, I don't like what's going on with San Francisco. You re-bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance not voted a team captain. There is no belief in that locker room with Lance. It's really, really awkward. I could see the Niners coming out really flat week 1. Just absolutely flat. I think the Bears suck. Don't get me wrong. The Bears are terrible. They have no offensive line. They can't block. Poor Justin Fields might die, literally getting hit by Nick Bosa. But the one good part about the Chicago Bears team is their defensive line. They still have Robert Quinn. He still can get after the quarterback. They can still muck this game up. This has a game that there's a blocked field goal or some shit. Robbie Gould in his own stadium trips. Somebody shines a laser pointer in his eye. Who the hell knows what happened in Chicago? Somehow, I'm going to go with the Bears here. Plus 250 money line. And the upset winner. I hope they don't win because, F the Bears. But I could see it happen. I don't know what I'm going to... San Francisco just feels really off to me. It's got a lot of bad juju going on. Kittle got hurt in practice this week in an unofficial practice on Monday. He's already going to miss the game with a groin injury. It's weird in San Francisco. Don't touch the Niners this year. But okay, it's redemption time, Scott. We're locking it up again. What do you got for us?
Well, just going back on what you're talking about the 49ers,
Yeah.
I do like that because we don't know what we're going to get out of Trey Lance. He could completely just freeze, going into his first game as a starter. It is interesting. He's not a team captain. I kind of understand it. He's a first-year quarterback. He's a young kid. There are probably plenty of players like Kittle, just like going to be captain over him. So I kind of get that, but going into Soldier Field as their first game as a starter for the San Francisco Giants, that's going to be a tough one. So I do like it. It's definitely a small money bet. I'm not going to put a bunch of money on the Bears to win anything ever, but I do like I do like the pick. So for our lock of the week,
oh yeah, let's go, baby, let's go.
They did very well for me last week. I liked what I saw out of them. In my parlay, like to score points quickly. They're playing a very inferior opponent once again. Oklahoma Sooners.
I like it.
Minus 33.5. I know it's a lot of points. Taylor Gabriel has shown that he can score points quickly. I think they did give up 13 last week to they play here.
UTEP.
Was UTEP, that's right. Yeah, they gave up 13 to UTEP, but they put up 45. They showed they can score a lot of points quickly. So just because Lincoln Riley's gone, just because Caleb Williams is gone, they can still move the ball down the field. They'll score a lot of points. I think their defense showed that they can shut down bad teams at least. We'll see what Big 12 teams have to offer, but the bad teams, Kent State, they played Washington, got derailed by Washington 45-20.
Yeah.
Washington's not that good of a team. They were 24-point favorites and barely covered that. But I just don't see Kent State scoring too much. Oklahoma's at home. 33.5. I think they can maybe even get that at halftime. They could be up 35-0 at halftime and just kind of cruise. So I love Oklahoma. They're going to be a force in the Big 12 this year. They don't have too much competition, especially after Texas pretty much gets demoralized here on Saturday by a real SEC team. It's just a real football team. Just a real team. Period.
Scott, I love it. I love your lead-ins. This is an amazing lead-in. I like the pick.
Oklahoma minus 33.5. I'm gonna put $100 on it when I get to Illinois tomorrow. I love it.
They were a little slow against UTEP to start out. Really strong. Second, third quarter, fourth quarter, finished good. Liked what I saw from them. I've been hammering on this game for my lock for months. I said I was betting this line if it was under 24 points. I didn't give a shit what it was. I was covering this line. I looked on Saturday when this line dropped. I grabbed this line at 17 points. It's now up to 20.5. I'm feeling really good right now. Like you said, the Alabama Crimson Tide are rolling in Austin, Texas, because UT is back, ladies and gentlemen. We got game day. It's big old time. We're going to get the soul of our program back. Texas fans are talking about Nick Saban stole the soul when they injured Colt McCoy in the 2009 National Championship game. Get the hell out of here. You're about to get a rude awakening to the SEC, Texas football. LSU won by 17, I believe. Nick Saban's going to want to beat that mark that LSU won by in 2019. This is a complete football team. Absolutely loved what I saw from Alabama against Utah State. A disgusting defense, suffocating. They're faster than you. They're bigger than you. They're stronger than you. And they're faster than you. I know I already said that. It was literally the Friday Night Lights scene right there. Not to mention, they have the defending Heisman Trophy winner, Bryce Young. He picked up right where he left off. He looks as good as he was last year. Texas honestly doesn't have a good defense. This is a team that gave up 50 points to Kansas last season, and I don't think they're much better this year. They have a good running back. That's cute. Wait till you have to go up against an actual defensive line that's going to shut down your running game. Quinn Ewers is not going to be ready for this moment. Texas gets run. It's an 11 o'clock game. That's probably the only bonus Texas gets, that Alabama's still sleeping from the hotel room night over. Nick Saban's great in non-conference games. They talk about, he doesn't play non-conference games on the road. He's played one. He plays neutral site games. It doesn't really matter. Any environment Alabama's been to in the SEC is a tougher environment that they're going to see in DKR. 17, I love here for my $100 lock. I think this is a rout. 24 was what I had it at. I said anything under 24, Alabama covers easily. So I think this is a 24-point game. I wouldn't be surprised if they really, really rub it in. Saban lost to two of his assistants last year. He ain't letting that happen again. Sark, you stand no shot, Bubba. Alabama Tide roll over the Longhorns this weekend in Austin. $100, lock it in at 17. I feel good at 20 too. Like I said, it's at 20.5. Might come down to 20. I feel good at that number too.
And you can go ahead and probably say a prayer for Quinn Ewers because they have a freshman left tackle. A certain player on that Alabama team. He's pretty good.
Heisman runner-up.
Yeah, he's going to be sacking Quinn quite a bit. So I'd be terrified if I was Quinn. Having a freshman on his blind side, it could be a long game. I know they have Bijan. Yeah, cool. It's gonna be I thought it'd be 28 when it first opened. When I saw 17, I was like, what? What are they?
Texas
what kind
is
of
back,
points are
baby.
they offering here? Is it because they're at home? Okay, cool, yeah. Because once Alabama goes up 14-0, and they see that Texas is not going to score, it doesn't matter what atmosphere you're going to be in. That crowd is going to be silent. It's kind of what happens in Texas. I mean, Kyle Field's a little different than DKR. DKR goes silent when their team is not playing well, and that's going to be very quick into this game.
And it's 11 a.m. kickoff. Like, they can't even get sauced all day to even make it tough. It's crack of dawn. This is a business trip for Alabama.
Will Anderson is going to have a heyday. I think he's just going to bully that left tackle. I don't even know what his name is. He's going to bully him the entire game. Ben's going to be hurt after this game, so
at least maybe his car won't get towed this week. You know, maybe he'll have that at least as a moral victory.
Maybe he has a spot this week.
They'll give him a parking spot.
Unless Nick Saban steals his car and drives it back to Tuscaloosa, who knows? It'll be a very long afternoon for the Texas Longhorns.
It's the perfect setup of a game. This is Texas's game of the century, the redemption, the biggest game. They haven't played a top 5 opponent in forever. Like 2017, they haven't played a top 5 opponent or a top 4 opponent. This is a business trip for Alabama. This is not a game they're even looking at on their schedule. Like, there's a massive difference the way these two teams are approaching this game, and it's gonna show. It's, it's cute. Texas, you're cute. We'll send you back down to earth. The SEC is just something else here. So why don't you run down those picks again for everybody that you got this week that you were going to be placing actual money on over in Chicago once you fly up there tomorrow.
Yep, so I got the $20 bet under 53.5 Kansas City, Arizona. $40 scary game, but we'll see what happens. Under 40 Iowa State, Iowa. Got the makes no sense, but we're taking the opposite game of the week. BYU -3 for $60. Got our home dog, Houston Texans. I did look; it was 10 home dogs this week, counting the game that was tonight. So a lot of interesting games in the NFL. But yeah, Houston plus 275 against Indy home, and then lock of the week, Oklahoma Sooners. I'll have a certain fan that likes this pick. -33.5 $100. Put those bets in when I get to Chicago tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see what happens here. It's going to be it's nice to actually see these teams play once instead of just kind of going in there blind and hoping for the best. So NFL's a little different. That's actually very different. I would say it's very hard to pick NFL games week one. It's going to be a lot of upsets, a lot of teams that you don't necessarily think that's going to win. I think a lot of home dogs are going to win. Could be a very interesting weekend. So
you have
looking forward to it.
You have a strong philosophy and statement on the NFL. Everybody's a professional, so everybody could win every week in the league.
They all get paid to play football.
Hey, college does now too. So it's all gravy. But let me run through mine. $20 bet over 47 in the Vikings-Packers matchup. Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins. Going to be a fantasy boom for you guys this weekend. So good on that. $40 bet. I'm taking Kentucky on the road, getting 6 points at your Florida Gators. $60. I like Pitt at home against Tennessee, getting 7 points. That's a big home dog for a ranked team that Desmond Howard had as his national champion. So they can't be that bad. My upset.
Texas A&M as his national champion?
Oh, he might.
He had A&M. He had A&M, but he did have Pittsburgh in the Final Four.
In the final. I thought he had Pittsburgh winning. But
Yeah, he had him in the Final Four, but still, he still had him in the playoff.
They had him winning a lot more than most people should. I'm even worse now if he had us winning. Christ. I got the Bears as my upset against the 49ers at home. Maybe you'll find a lot of drunk Bear fans that'll place a bet for you there. They'll love it. You could show this podcast to them. They'll be right on board with us. And then my lock of the week, the Tide's going to roll down in Austin. I might go just for moral support of my lock at 11 a.m. I might go down there just to be a smug asshole. So I got Alabama minus 17, $100 for my lock of the week. Good stuff from this week, Scott. I like it a lot. We're feeling a lot better. I think it's hard. It's hard week one. I think we're going to do really well this week.
Yeah, like I said, it's nice to see the teams actually play. At least the college teams actually play once. Got a good feel for them. Got a good feel for pace. We know who's good. We know who's bad. There's always, it is gambling after all. So we'll see what happens.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. But that's going to do it for us this week. Again, let us know what you think in the comments below. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Share this video if you know some other degenerate gamblers like us and yourself probably. And we'll see you all next week.